The United Nations World Food Programme, WFP, has sounded the alarm of a devastating funding shortfall that threatens to plunge millions of people in South Sudan into a catastrophic humanitarian crisis. Our reporter Maria Masise has the details.
Despite reaching over 2 million people with life-saving assistance so far this year, the World Food Programme is facing a critical funding gap that could disturb 2 million more people, with a strategic 7.7 million people, half the population, facing severe hunger and starvation. The WFP urgently required $274 million to maintain support for 2.5 million people through the end of the year. Without additional funds, authorities say further reduction in reaction and assistance will be necessary, putting millions at risk. The crisis is particularly severe in conflict-affected areas where humanitarian access is limited in Open Nile State. 32,000 people are facing catastrophic hunger. Nial and Olang countries are at risk of deteriorating into famine. The United Nations humanitarian assistance expressed the need for their safety. Will disturb food as WFP has delivered 430 metric tons of food through airdrops of remote areas.
Airdrops like this are obviously the last resort for WFP. But these communities cannot be reached in any other way. There is no access by road, there is no access by river, and so we are left with no option by doing these airdrops or in order to get our life-saving assistance in. And this is truly life-saving. Without this food, people in these communities would die.
The WFP Deputy Director further stressed their situation in Sudan, compounded by the influx of nearly 1.2 million people facing conflict in neighboring Sudan, many of whom are arriving hunger, malnutrition, and traumatized.
Across South Sudan, some 8 million people are acutely food insecure, many surviving and relying on WFP assistance. But we are running very short of money right now, and this is forcing us to scale back our support and assistance also in communities facing starvation.
The UN Food Agency is calling for urgent funding to prevent a collapse of humanitarian effort and to cement fledgling gains made in areas where conditions have allowed for humanitarian access in the deterioration situation. The international community is expected to take immediate action to address the funding shortfalls to prevent a humanitarian catastrophe in South Sudan. Reporting for Africa News, I am Mariama ACC.